Hey everybody, welcome to this week's live Wednesdays here on the Urban Gardener. I'm back. I'm back after a couple of weeks. It's had a few things going on. I'll talk about that in just a moment. I want to thank you all for joining me
Hey
this
guys,
week.
real quick.
Whoa, forgot to hit the mute button. But I want to thank you all for joining me this week for this live stream here on the Urban Gardener. And please hit the comments and chat box over here. Let me know what you got going on. What all, everything, everybody who's here, let me know what you're doing. And just want to kind of get everything started by also asking you to hit the like button too. Also, that'll be really cool. Let me know you're here by hitting the like button. And like I said, been away for just a couple of weeks there. I had some issues technically, which is kind of an ongoing story, as most things are for the Urban Gardener here. The laptop. I wish I could have a better piece of equipment. Just been having trouble with certain things with it, and it having serious enough issues where I had to have a friend and wait for a friend to kind of help me get some things back up and going with it. I was able to get it going again myself. I don't know, a couple months back, I had some issues with it, starting where I really realized some things were going on with it, and but this time I had to kind of call in a friend and ask him to kind of help out, and hopefully everything will continue working good enough until I can get together the resources to actually get myself a better laptop computer to take care of everything. I run the live stream through my phone, but I also keep track of like the comments and all that sort of stuff through the laptop right here down below. And so it's kind of different. I did do one live stream where I didn't have the laptop going, and it's just a little bit difficult to try to keep up with the messages on the phone as they're coming on the phone and kind of keeping up with that and being able to see them and read them and all of that. So I prefer to have the computer in that situation. So it was kind of one of those easy decisions to kind of just hold back and wait a couple of weeks and try to get that taken care of. And also, the laptop is also how I put together all of our videos for the regular channel there. So kind of got me caught in the middle of trying to get the part two of our National Heirloom Expo experience edited and put together and published and everything. So we did get everything finished up, all edited and everything. And just as of start time of this live stream, part two is now up on the main page too. So you can go to the main page of the Urban Gardener, see either there, or if you hit the videos tab, it should be the top one up in the videos tab too. Let's see here. So we got Nancy with us. Hi Nancy, thanks for joining us there in Missouri. And she says it's snowing a bit and cold, and she's glad that we're back. I'm glad we're back too. Snowing, cold, all of that. It's that time of year already for some of us in different parts of the country right now, and especially for Nancy right now in Missouri. Cold is hitting, the snow is hitting. I just had a freezing night. Well, actually, I think we had two freezing nights in a row just a couple of nights ago. And tell you what, for all of those tomatoes I was holding on to and waiting towards the very end there, we had to kind of pull them off, get them done. Plants just had it after the freeze and just wasn't a good scene. Getting that cleaned up and all of that too, though. But good to have kind of a nice little small little last tomato crop that'll ripen up in the house and all of that here in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, again, like it's that time of year, boy, oh boy, where did the summer go? Boy, it went by pretty fast this year for me and all of that too. Let's see here, we've got, oh, excellent, we've got Ivy Organics. Uh, Hello, Enoch. Happy belated birthday. Well, thanks for the birthday wish there. That's did happen just the other day. And another birthday in the books, another turn around the sun, as they would say. And also, again, thank you to Nancy. She did send me a birthday card, too. So I got that in the mail the other day for my birthday, which was really, really great. love the birthday wishes and all of that, especially like on Facebook and everything with all the friends and everything. It's kind of something to be able to look at your Facebook page throughout the day and watch all of those different happy birthdays from all your different friends and different people and all that kind of add up on the page and all of that too. So, you know, all of this kind of makes the birthdays just a little bit more fun. Um, but yeah, just a really good time this year and all of that. Getting things together, like I said. Also, you know, that time of year with the temperatures and everything dropping and all of that too. So a lot of things in the garden, there's just a lot of work going on out there, just kind of cleaning things up mostly. You know, there's a lot of plants that are just done for the season, a lot of different chores to get done and get everything kind of settled in and settled down for the winter time, as the winter time is now approaching us pretty soon. Um, but also, you know, got different other things that we've got to also plan and get started and work on as well in the gardens too. But so yeah, basically, again, I just want to thank you all again for kind of joining in with me here, and welcome back again to Live on Wednesdays. And you know, Wednesdays live, this live stream that I got started this year doing is just kind of an opportunity for us to kind of get together, have kind of a chat about whatever, in a sense, you know, going on in our gardens or your gardens, or, you know, just in general, a lot of other things too. You know, talk about some of the videos and things that we're doing and some of the projects we're working on here for the channel and all of that, things I got going on and everything too. So, you know, and any other types of questions too. If you guys have any questions, all sorts of them too. They don't even have to be just garden questions. Just kind of come and join with us here on Wednesdays. Come have a chat and talk about all sorts of different things, and just spend some time to get together and you know, just kind of review our week and see how things are going, or in this case, review the last several weeks, because I haven't been on doing the live stream for the last few weeks. But glad to get back. Glad you're all here with us. And again, like I said, please hit the like button. And if you're following along, though, too, on the replay, if you're watching on the replay, get in the comments section down below. Let me know what you think, and what you got going on in your gardens or in life in general, all that sort of stuff. If you want to talk about that sort of stuff, or if you have any questions for me at all that I can talk about next week on the Wednesday's live stream. Now, one of the things, though, too, after spending a couple of weeks off and all of that, too, I have kind of wondered, in a sense, about the whole idea, you know, in the future of this idea of doing the live stream. Now, I really like getting up here and doing that and interacting with everybody and being able to share and all of that, too. I just want to get more interaction from you, the audience, and all of that too, and also specifically on this live Wednesdays. I want to know what you think about the live Wednesdays, and if this is something that you're really looking forward to, you know, continuing on and all of that sort of stuff, as I make some decisions about certain things I want to do with the channel and all of that. I did get this started to kind of just, you know, see how it goes, and be able to you know, just kind of do the live format and be able to kind of you know, see how it fits. And, you know, I kind of enjoy it. You know, it's kind of fun to be able to kind of get here in front of the camera and just kind of talk on about some things and all of that sort of stuff too, you know, with all of you as well. But I would like to see if, you know, this is something that people, you know, really want to see in the future. If not, maybe something else or some sort of different thing. So please, in the comments, you know, either in the chat box or in the comments below, let me know what you think about the live on Wednesdays and all of that, and if it's something that you're looking forward to me continuing to do here on the channel and all of that. So basically, you know, I kind of want to talk about, you know, I kind of wrote down a few different things and whatnot too, you know, kind of talk about a little bit here, and then we'll kind of see where things go and whatnot. And then I'll probably be moving on shortly here today. So hopefully we'll kind of see what we can fit in and all of that as far as a garden chat this week and all of that. And like I said, I want to hear about what you guys think and all of that stuff. And we'll kind of talk about that a little bit more next week as I talk about some of those things I'm thinking about. and we'll just kind of continue that conversation on then, after I can hopefully get to hear some of your feedback. So that's kind of what I'm hoping here this week, is to be able to maybe get some good feedback from all of you about what you think of this Live Wednesdays program here, live stream that we do and have been doing and whatnot. And I know there's a couple of you who really do enjoy this live stream and all of that, and and I'm really glad to have you all kind of being here each week and to be able to share this experience with me here. And it is, it's kind of a little bit different, getting in here and also, just kind of chatting away about certain things and all of that, and also sometimes keeping track of your thoughts and all of that too. But again, real quick, I just want to say again, thanks for the birthday card, Nancy. Thank you for all the birthday wishes to everybody out there who contacted me through the Facebook page and all of that too, and wished us happy birthday. I really appreciated all of that and everything. It's Halloween time too, as we put in the title, Halloween adventures and whatnot. It's that time of year, as we were kind of getting started talking about the weather and all of that. It's the season's changing, and Halloween and Thanksgiving and these times of year are really what those holidays are, what kind of really usher in that change of the year and all of that. And so really looking forward to all of those sort of celebrations and things going on here this week. I hope that you guys have some really fun things going on for your Halloween, and hopefully some really cool things with your family and Thanksgiving and everything as we move on into November. And again, the change of the season and all of that too is one of the things I wanted to talk about. Is an episode I'm going to be putting together and hopefully have out here in the next couple of weeks, is kind of the annual, this time of year. It to me kind of reminds me of one thing in particular, is getting my garlic out into the gardens and getting that all out and planted out, and look forward to that. It's one of those great continuations of growing and gardening in the season, is that it's the end of all those summer crops. Like I was saying, the tomatoes and peppers and all of them are finally done now. They could deal with some frosts and some issues like that, but when it gets down to a nice hard freeze, especially for a couple of nights in a row, those plants are just pretty much done too. So all of those sort of things are finished up. And as that's happening, it's time to actually get your garlic into the ground. So look forward to seeing a episode coming up here real soon, as I'm going to get out and do that here in the next day or two. We had some couple of freezy nights and whatnot, but I looked into the weather for the next week or two, and it looks like things are going to be continuing to stay right about warm enough for us to have the next week or so to be able to get all of those garlic in the ground and get them started on their growing cycle, because of how they get started, just in these nice, as everything starts to cool down, you get your cloves down in the ground and you give them just enough of a time, in the cool season, like through November, early December and all of that, before it really starts freezing and snowing and all of that, for them to kind of just grow a little bit of roots and then poke up through the ground and whatnot. And at that point in time, I got leaves, yard leaves and all of that, and I kind of, mulch them over and keep them up underneath there as the winter time hits, and we'll get, probably a little bit of snow. We usually get just a little bit of snow and some really good ice freezes and whatnot, a couple of days, few days out of the winter time and all of that too. So, and that's going to be one of those things that's just going to really tell that garlic in the ground that it's time to really start thinking about growing, and it's really what helps the bulbs split and form as they continue growing up underneath the ground, as the weather starts to warm up towards the spring season, and they just really start to take off and grow until you get to the really early part of summer. So it's a really long crop, takes those months and that time in the middle in winter time to kind of hunker down up underneath of the cold and all of that too. So it's just one of my favorite things actually to really grow. I talk about that too. I've told it's just one of those things that I had to learn, that learning curve about how garlic grows through that through the seasons like that. And So it was really fun to be able to figure that out early on in my gardening experience. Although I did spend a couple, as I told people before too, I did spend a couple of seasons just trying to grow them in the springtime and not having much luck with any bulbs, you know. But you know, you get the usable greens and all of that too as well, and you know, you can find some little bit of use out of them. But if you want the optimal growth of a garlic, you want to get them started in this fall time of season too. So, and then, you know, also, like I said, that just kind of ushers in the end of the year too, as well for 2019. And one of the things I was just gonna kind of talk about too, in some sort of senses, is in thinking about certain things and what I'm doing and all of that. Try to keep a really good positive viewpoint and attitude towards a lot of things going on, especially as I portray this channel and all of that sort of stuff in the gardens and everything too. But you know, behind the scenes and everything too, you know, I just have to admit and just be open about it, is that 2019 was not the greatest of years for me at all. I mean, there was just, you know, it got off to a really bad start. And you know, even though I've had some really great experiences and meetups, the trip to California, through Las Vegas, going to see John Kohler and all of that, when I took that trip early spring this year, was really kind of, you know, it was uplifting. Really gave me a good positive, you know, outlook towards, you know, really getting into this year and working hard and all of that. But you know, just shortly after that, I ended up having some troubles and some problems personally, as we were just getting into the summertime at the end of spring and getting into summertime. So there was a good, you know, time where I had to take time off and not do certain things and all of that. You know, for quite a while during the early summertime, and all of that kind of got in the way of a lot of the things I really wanted to do at that time of the year. So there were some things I didn't get to do that I wanted to do, and I wanted to show everybody. And then, you know, like I started off talking about, and one of the things that really kind of gave us a problem here over the last couple of weeks is just technology. You know, there's personal issues, technology, all that sort of stuff. You know, it just seems like one thing after another this year I've had to kind of trudge through. But, you know, trying to really keep everything going and keep moving forward and all of that, you know. I've talked about that actually in some of my early episodes, I think, when I talked about peppers. We did our pepper episodes, and talked about determination and just being determined, you know. When I started the channel, that was really my outlook. It was just to be determined to do something and do something different and enjoy doing it. And I did, and it was really fun over these last couple of years doing the channel and all that. And I'm not saying it wasn't fun doing everything that we've done, and the different videos and experiences and everything that we've done this year. It's just behind the scenes, there's just been a lot of personal, just trudging along, trying to get through some of these issues and everything too, you know. And it's really great, really actually, you know, to have all of you along with me to kind of help me keep my positive viewpoint going and moving forward too, because it is a really big help to be able to look into the garden for, you know, some, you know, just personal inspiration and dealing with certain issues and all of that. And it's one of the things I really enjoy the garden for, is that sort of at times peace and all of that too, you know. So there's a lot of things I didn't film, didn't really get to and do for videos and all of that, because I really kind of spent a lot of what time I did get to work in the gardens and do certain things. I really kind of spent trying to figure out and work through some certain issues and all that sort of stuff, but really trying to continue to you know, put out some content and show the different things that we have growing in the garden and all of that too. So I hope you all have really enjoyed the things that I did get to touch on and did get to show everybody this year and all of that. Just know there were a lot of other things that I did want to do and I did want to share too, you know. So in the long run is, you know, what, you know, well, first of all, just, you know, like I said, I want to thank you all for help being a great inspiration, you know, being here and watching my videos, commenting on the videos, you know, hitting the thumbs up, you know, all of you out there who subscribed and just kind of follow along with me and whatnot. You really kind of help keep me going and keeps my thoughts forward in the goals and the things that I want to accomplish. And I just really, you know, like I said, push forward with that determination to continue to do the things that I enjoy and have fun with in order to persevere through all of the issues that I've been dealing with and all of that. But there's been plenty out there this year. It hasn't been the best of years, so kind of looking forward to a whole new kind of restart for this next year in this in 2020. And I've got some really big ideas and plans and things I want to do. I really want it to be one of my most optimal gardening years. I want to get some projects done that I've been wanting to get done for the last couple of seasons that I haven't been able to do, but I will get them done this year. And I'm kind of ahead on the process because I've gotten some things that I needed for some of the projects already, so they're just sitting and waiting. So as we get going into this next year, hopefully we'll just have a really great year and be able to do a lot of those things that I didn't really get a chance to get to this year. But I'm really looking forward to being able to share with you all some of these things, because there's just some of the projects and some things that I've wanted to do, some things I've wanted to try out, and also some more visits and more trips and things like that I want to go and do, and catch up with some other people that we haven't seen for a while and all of that. So there's going to be a whole bunch of really great things to look forward to in 2020. So just follow along with me as we get through these next couple of months and everything like that, and as we get geared up for this new year. I'm just going to really get the new year started off and really going forward really well. And and again, some certain things on that as far as what I'm thinking about with the channel and all of that, I'll talk a little bit more, like I said earlier, next week about some of those things I've been thinking about. And like I said, please in the comments down below, let me know what you think about the live on Wednesdays that we do here each Wednesday. And tell me what you think about this live stream. Tell me what you think about the channel in general, some of the things that you would like to see. Maybe there's some things that I could do or show, or maybe some projects I could look into or think about for this next season and whatnot. Some of your input would be really important to have a really great year this next year. So let's see here. Oh yeah, like I was saying, looking forward to this next year, 2020, a lot better year. We're gonna trudge along through these next couple of months. I've got some videos, I've got some things that we're gonna do and whatnot, and getting us going into this holiday season. And then, like I said, we're just gonna really gear in and just really go after it this 2020 and have just a really great year. But just to also mention again, as I did earlier, we do have the part 2 of our National Heirloom Exposition video out. It just published right before the live stream. So after this live stream, head over to the main page of the Urban Gardener YouTube channel and check out part 2 of our National Heirloom experience there. And talking about, again, they were getting to do some things that have just really been fun and inspiring and kind of a great getaways from all the different issues and things like that. The National Heirloom Expo is something that I've just really looked forward to over the last couple of years, ever since I went 3 expos ago to my first one. And you can go, like I said, check out the page. I think I have a playlist even on the main page too. You can check down towards the bottom for a playlist and check out those older original or first Heirloom Expo videos that I did there too when I first went there the first time a couple of years ago. And then we have last year's 3-day episodes that we did at the National Heirloom Expo as well too. But just really, like I said, it's something I really look forward to. It's such a fun experience, and just to be able to get together and hang out in person with a lot of people and a lot of you out there who I've got to meet actually right there at the expo, and just really had a great time getting to see all of these people who are just really like-minded, really into gardening, really into all these sort of things. It's just great to be able to spend time with them in at the 3-day exposition. It's just each day packed full of just really, really great fun things to do. And hopefully I showed a lot, or showed enough at least of my experience this year in our part 1 and part 2 experience that I put out, like I said, on the main page of the channel. And if I remember after the live stream's over, I'll try to put some links down below too, maybe, so you can just go right down below in the direct descriptions and get a link to the Heirloom Expo videos for this year. It was first one, we got to meet up with Doug and Stacy from Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. That was really fun. They sat down with me and hung out and did a little talk with me. And then I got to talk with Jason from Sow the Land. I really have been enjoying his channel over this last year too, as I've found out about him through Justin Rhodes's channel, another channel I really like watching a lot for the homesteading and everything that they do, but also both Justin and Jason are really good at the editing and putting together really good quality videos. So it's one of the things I really, really like about watching their videos, not only the homesteading experience that I don't get to have, I get to watch through their videos and everything, but also the way they put together those videos. Really great, kind of inspiring, and the creative way of video making and all of that too. So really great to be able to meet up with Jason and talk with him about him and his channel and his experience actually moving from California to North Carolina to start their homesteading experience and everything on his channel, Sow the Land. They go through that experience and everything. So I encourage y'all to go check out Jason's channel, check out Doug and Stacy's Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. They really kind of put together some fun off-grid homesteading videos. And also we did, let's see, oh, and in part 2, we get to meet up with Wendy Fan. She's someone we met at the National Heirloom Expo last year, and I got to go see her talk on Asian vegetables, and she did some cool things last year and all of that. This year she was back again for another talk on a panel talking about Asian vegetables. Her and a couple of other panelists discussed all these really cool different Asian vegetables and fruits, and talked about growing them, and it was just a really cool kind of, not necessarily a talk like a lot of the other speakers and whatnot, but the panels that they put together where you can really get in and get some Q&A in too. So the audience gets to ask a lot of questions, and they get to answer those questions and everything. So you get a lot of really great information about growing, about a lot of these different things from them. So it was really kind of cool to catch up with Wendy. She's in our part 2 video, and she'll show us a couple of Asian fruits in that video too. And we also get to meet up with Jared Gettle, who is the founder of Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company, and him and Baker Creek put on the National Heirloom Expo there in Santa Rosa, California each year. And this is their 9th year actually in 2019, the 9th year of the National Heirloom Expo. And so we got a chance to talk with him about that and all of that. And I'll just warn you too, I did put some text on the video and all of that. Jared's just a little bit taller than I am, and I'm using the hand-holding thing for the iPhone camera that I'm using, and it's not easy to get the right angle, and so it's kind of cut off a little bit there on Jared and all of that too. I really kind of have to apologize to everybody up front about that. I got to get better at holding that thing. I can get myself down and understand how I fit into the frame all right, but when you got someone with you and they're just a little bit taller, they don't fit in the frame too well, and I haven't had much experience with dealing with that somewhat. I should have probably looked back at the frame before I actually went forward with it, but we were kind of in this big hall. He's he's a really, really popular person at the National Heirloom Expo, so getting a moment of his time is you know, pretty precious at times because people are trying to talk to him and ask him questions and do all that sort of stuff. So we just kind of went after it and got the video footage that we got. But it was a really decent little conversation with him about the Heirloom Expo and getting together, like I was saying, with really like-minded people and all of that. And it's a really great experience for everybody, you know, who's been able to go to that exposition to be able to experience all the really fun things that they have there. So check out that new video that I've got put out on the main page right after the live stream here. Let's see. Take a drink. Yeah, well, Nancy knows as well too about all the laptop and computer issues and all of that sort of stuff. You know, with her computer and everything as well. But she says that she's determined, and that's right. Let's be determined and get through these struggles that we must deal with. You know, whether they're in life or these technological issues and all of that too. You know, we'll struggle through them and make do with what we got. And like I said, again, we'll just have a really great 2020. You know, we'll get through this 2019. We got some holidays coming up. It's going to be a great time. Like I said, getting together with family and friends and just, you know, having our great holiday experience and then move on through winter here, this 2020 into spring, and have a really great new year and all of that too. So it's going to be really, really fun. One of the things I was going to talk with, and I might just end with here real quick, I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to actually stay on the live stream here, unless everybody gets on and starts chatting up or asking questions, or we move on and do something like that. Other than oh, she said it worked. Okay. Trying to keep up with the comments as well too. But like I said, want to talk about the first year that I went to the National Heirloom Expo. I had a great time visiting everybody, got to meet a lot of people who lived locally right there in the Santa Rosa, Sonoma County area. And one of the things that we were going through at that time here in Oregon, in Southern Oregon where I lived, was lots and lots of fires. We had lots of forest fires going on all around us here, and just had a lot of smoke, a lot of issues with all of that sort of stuff. So we had been dealing with that here in Oregon and up in the more Pacific Northwest here. And when I went down to the expo, talked about a lot of that stuff with people, and they were just blown away by all of the smoke and the fire issues and everything that we were dealing with up here. And left that expo and came home, and within the next couple of months there in California, they started dealing with even worse fire issues. After that, they literally had some fires that just swept right through into Santa Rosa, taking out just whole neighborhoods of homes and everything. It was just really, really devastating fires that happened just shortly after that first National Heirloom Expo that we went to and everything. And when I went back the next year and visited again with people that I got to meet up with there in the local area and everything, we went and toured around and took a look around in some of those neighborhoods and everything. And I mean, to see it in person, it was just completely devastating to see what these fires had done to these communities, which was just right outside of where the National Heirloom Expo is held at the Sonoma County Fairgrounds. And the fairgrounds were actually being used as a fire base for engines and different volunteers and people who are dealing with the fires and everything. It was kind of used as a big base for a lot of those first responders and people and all of that sort of stuff. And so that was just really just kind of, that just really kind of hit me. I was like, wow, thought we were dealing with some really bad issues, and we were, a lot of fires and all of that sort of stuff. But when, they're forest fires and they get contained after a while, we just had so many of them here in our area. These fires really got in and took out people's homes, caused a lot of really damage. Were just so, a lot of, and I'm not sure, and I'm not going to say or anything like that about deaths or anything like that. I'm sure that's possible, that probably happened and whatnot. I don't know for, off the top of my head exactly how and what happened there. But when you're talking about something that bad and devastating like that, and so, like I said, we went back the next year and we're dealing with very same issues again here in Oregon. And just really bad fires, tons of smoke. It was just really, really horrible. And went back down there, and then, like I said, toured around and saw what happened the year before there. And just really, it was really, like I said, it was really took you back, actually, getting to see that sort of thing. And then to come back home after that expo last year, and just a couple, like I said, just another month or so again later, the same thing. This time it's happening over in what they called the campfire. I don't know why they ever thought about calling it the campfire, but it took out most of this whole town called Paradise. And that we got to see a lot of, because a lot of those residents, people who lost their homes and everything, came right up here into this area. I got to meet up and talk with a couple of people who were there and lived in there, and what it was like to, basically just have to flee a massive forest fire sweeping over your whole community. And it's completely crazy to think about. And also at the same time, down in Los Angeles, they were starting to deal with a lot of really devastating fires too, sweeping through, because at this time of year, you get what they call the Santa Ana winds, and really dry conditions. Any sort of fire, any sort of, what a lot of what they're dealing with too is these electrical issues. Anything happens, a spark hits anything, and it sets something off, and with those winds, whole neighborhoods could be taken out. And to see what happened this last year, it was just really, really, really heartbreaking and devastating to be able to see that. And here we are again this year, and it's the same story, except for, I do have to say, we only dealt with maybe a week and a half here in Oregon, dealing with just a couple of local forest fires that brought in some smoke into this area. So for us here in Oregon, we actually really did not see much of any of the issues we'd seen prior the last couple of years. But it's the same story right south of us, just south of us down in California. They're dealing with these big fires, heading towards, people's homes and causing evacuations and all of that. And, they're in Sonoma County area again. They're dealing with stuff. They're, evacuating areas, and been doing that over this last week or so. And hopefully some of those fires are getting contained, and things will be all right enough for people to get back to their homes and whatnot. But then again, also down in Los Angeles, the same thing too. These fires are getting kicked in with these winds down there, and really starting to just cause a lot of devastation and problems. You see some of this video too. I've seen some video of people, driving through, and what it looks like, especially when you see it at night. Of course, fires are going to look really, really incredible at night. Seeing especially the damage when you see these just all over these freeways and in these really populated areas of Los Angeles and Los Angeles County and all of that down there. That's crazy, and it's just so devastating to see. And we have, like I said, friends in the Sonoma County area too, who I hope are all doing well and safe from everything. We've got friends down in Los Angeles here with the Urban Gardener too. Kay Cottrell, she lives in the Pacific Palisades area there, that's been at risk, really at risk with a lot of those fires that are just sweeping through those hills and all of that sort of stuff. She's been on alert about having to evacuate or get away from her home. It's just, and you know, just to think of the different things and different issues for people and all of that down there at in California and all of that. It's just, you know, I hope everybody is doing well and doing okay, and everybody is safe as can be during some of that time. But it's just, to me, I'm just been thinking a lot about that too, because it could, you know, kind of been connected with, you know, the people I've gotten to meet through this channel and everything. You know, we're here on the West Coast, and me being in Southern Oregon, I'm just kind of like right in the middle of the whole West Coast of the United States, and it's a perfect opportunity for me to be able to, you know, especially go down to California and to be able to visit people and to see these really great gardens and garden projects and all of that that are down there. And so, sorry, I'm kind of looking at something else too. I'm sorry there, but you know, to think, you know, that the danger that these, I don't know what people want to call it, this climate change and all of that that's going on, that's causing this. I mean, something is happening. This is, you know, as true as anybody can have opinions on about on what's what. To be able to see it, to know it, to have people and friends, you know, like I say, like Kay down there, you know, also Ivy Organics, Charles, you know, right there in Hollywood, you know, right there in these areas that, you know, are at risk, you know, to some of these fires that can just sweep and do tons of damage and everything, that are just being seen each and every year, and more damaging every year, more and more problems. So, you know, hopefully, you know, things will change in the future, but as things have been seen over these last several years, and, you know, really escalating these last few years. I mean, there was a lot of fire and smoke issues that we had dealt with for seasons prior to that as well too, right here in the Oregon area. So, you know, to kind of see everything, like I said, escalate to where we're seeing such damage and catastrophic damage to people's homes and lives and all of that, and putting people at risk, is just something else. So really all of our thoughts out to all of you out there who, you know, are at risk out there, and I hope that you're all able to return to your homes real soon if you had to leave, you know. But you know, with that, you know, I'm just gonna kind of say that we'll probably go ahead and end this live stream here real quick. I do want to get onto, you know, I don't want to leave such a somber, sad type of discussion about fires and all of that, and then talk about what I'm planning on doing here in just a few minutes. I'm sure it's actually already started, but it's Game 7 of the World Series, and I'm a big baseball fan, and you can't miss Game 7 of a World Series. So, you know, I'm gonna get off with the live stream here, and go and check out what's going on with that World Series there, and see who's going to pull it out and be the world champions this year. Will it be the Houston Astros, or it will be the Washington Nationals? I'm not too sure. They're both really great teams. In fact, to think about it, both teams have all won their games on the road. None of them actually won a game at home in their home stadium. They've all won on the road, and if the Nationals pull it off, they'll be the first team in history to ever do that, to win all 4 games and win the World Series on the road. That would be pretty interesting to see, I think, you know. So I guess maybe I'm go Nationals. But I want to thank everybody here for joining with me and follow along with this live stream. It's just kind of good to get back into it. Like I said, I wasn't quite sure about some things with the live stream and all of that. And like I said, also please give me some feedback about this live stream, what you think in the comments below. Hit the likes button, and you know, maybe leave a question or anything like that for next week's live stream. I'll get back together with you next week. We'll talk about some more things with the live stream, and different things that we got going on here in the next couple of months as we finish off our 2020 or 2019, like I said, our not so good 2019 year. And like I said, we're going to look forward to a really great 2020. And real quick, see, Nancy just asked if I know if Patrice is safe from the fires. I do know that Patrice lives in an area that I haven't seen in the fire uh, risk area that's been going on as far as the California fires down there in that area are concerned. But that can change at any moment, any time with that area and all of that. But as far as I understand, um, she is and or should be, as far as what I know with that. I haven't heard from her personally, so probably have to message and find out and check in with her and see how things are going too. So I hope she's safe as well as everybody else. Like I said, it's just really, really crazy to think about, just this sort of thing. And like I said, we're going to be here again next year talking about the same thing. It could very well be based on the way things have been going these last couple of years and everything too. So I really hope that, I hope it's not. I hope that maybe this is just one of those things that, just kind of boiling up to where it's reached, and over the next few years we'll see it kind of go back to, I don't know, normal. I'm not sure if that exists. I don't, and I'm not scientific enough to really know and understand all of the real science behind a lot of the things that are going on and everything. I just know that I can see what's happening, and it's scary. It's not fun for those of us who live in these areas that are so at risk to some of this devastating damage that these fires can do. And again, I just hope everybody out there who's friends of the Urban Gardener is safe out there. And again, thank you for joining us here on Live Wednesdays live stream here. And hope that we'll see you next week. Please join us next week. We'll have some more chat. We'll talk about some more things going on in the garden, talk about some of the videos and everything that we got coming out, and finishing off how we're going to finish off 2019 and all of that. Thanks again, everybody. See you next week.